Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie Barotin. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. Welcome, my dear listeners of Diamond Effect Podcast, episode 225. So as we're coming to 2026, the new year, and last episode and last week, I talked about a bit of an outlook on the economy. For the next 3 episodes, I decided to walk you through my 3-pillar top seal formula to show you how I help my clients scale their businesses from early 5 figures to multiple 6 figures, $500,000 and 7 figures and beyond that, just in order for you to understand what is needed to scale a business. So you can look at that and see maybe where do you have gaps, what do you need to work on. Through that explanation, I'll also share certain coaching and insight on parts of the formula and steps in the pillars, and that are simple for me to explain to you through this podcast that don't require brainstorming and tailored, unique strategy that's only going to be done in one-on-one work. Let's get started. It's going to be a great series. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. We'll start with me explaining the formula and the pillars for you. What are they? What are the components of each pillar? The first pillar of Top Seal formula is the profitable positioning framework. And this is really the foundation that is needed for your business to scale. There is a foundation in how you think about your business and you becoming the CEO, and also some strategic clarity of how do I stand out in the market? What's my competitive advantage? Who even are my best clients that only I can serve? What we're doing here with my clients in Pillar 1, we're transitioning you from an overwhelmed freelancer, stuck, serving everyone, maybe even undercharging, working in your business all the time. So being more of an employee of a freelancer of the business, we want to transition you into a confident CEO, somebody who is crystal clear on where they're taking their business, not only today, tomorrow, in 3 months, but also in 3 years. They're crystal clear on the niche that they're serving. They understand their clients inside out, and also they have services positioned for fair and premium pricing that attracts their ideal clients, right? You would think that many business owners know that and they know that they should do it. And yet I work with business owners who have parts of that, but they're not really clear on it. They have good foundation, but they lack depth, or they have certain things established, but they don't know how to project that and how to message that when they go out to marketing. So we go deep in that. And really we start with your mindset, identifying maybe the perspective and beliefs that are limiting you, that are keeping you stuck, that are whether not allowing you to charge properly or not go after your most profitable clients, or maybe that keep you stuck working in the business and not on it. I work with that with my clients, and today, later in this episode, I will share the most important mindset shifts that are important for you to even get started on the scaling journey. Hang on, I'll get to it. Once we get that, or actually this part becomes a staple or becomes a consistent part of weekly coaching sessions with my clients because your mindset or the way you think about it is not going to change just with one coaching session. We work on it on every coaching session, even if we don't sometimes explicitly talk about it and working on strategy. I still, within those calls, find maybe ways when you're thinking that are not serving you, and I help you and shift that. But on top of that, in pillar 1, in order to create a profitable positioning framework, in order to create your profitable positioning, we need to look and analyze your past client data, right? Identify which ones are best clients for you, the most profitable, the most fulfilling, and easiest for you to serve and create results. And from that, we define the client avatar with really in-depth precision, their pain points, their buying behavior, how they decide and their criteria, where they spend their time, how they invest, all those things. And of course, that depends on where are you with your business and the industry you serve. But this clarity helps you speak directly to the people you want to serve in a language that they understand through your marketing. And with that, of course, you get to attract them in bigger numbers and much faster. We also do the audit of your current offerings and pricings. I find that a lot of service providers are either underpriced themselves or they have too many offerings that spreads them really thin. And sometimes they focus on the ones that maybe are most fun, but they're not bringing a lot of profit and they have to work so much harder. When we look at the pricing, we really approach it strategically. We need to build in your profit margins that account for your expenses and cost of doing business, your overhead, the team growth of the growth of a business. So you have money to reinvest in your business outside of just paying yourself, right? So your business does not survive just now, but thrives now and long term. And you get to pay yourself as the CEO. And then, of course, I teach you how to present these packages to the clients so they actually see the value and not just the price, right? That's where positioning and messaging comes from. And we tailor it to the unique strengths of your business. We also do an in-depth review of your current marketing and sales practices so then we can understand it and figure out where are some quick wins, because always when I talk to my clients, I see low-hanging fruit, some quick wins that we can do to bring them, whether it's an influx of rush, speed up signing certain clients, raise their conversion rates before we really dive deeper into pillar 2, which is this strategic client system. This is when we build your client acquisition engine, because you can't scale on ad hoc marketing or marketing where you're surprised every time you sign a client. You don't know where they're coming from, and therefore you don't know when there's the next one coming. You need a predictable system that consistently delivers you those ideal clients, right? Monthly. And how we do it, we really focus predominantly on organic marketing. But what we do is we look at your industry and your strengths and build strategic referral partnerships. We optimize the marketing that it's already working for you to work even better. We set up a proven sales process so that you never rely on luck and word of mouth or kind of feast and famine cycle. So this is the core of the pillar 2 of Top CEO formula. How do we do it? I have a unique way of developing strategic referral partnerships, and I teach you that when we work one-on-one. We identify your key referral partners, and then through the process that I teach my clients, we will make that an engine for very good quality referrals, right? Because when you have strategic partners, they're the ones who keep referring your clients, and your conversion rates with the good sales process can be as high as 80%. which you'll never get when you're reaching out to cold people. And that does not say that we can't have one stream of marketing and outreach to the cold people to keep scaling, but those will be definitely harder clients to convert. From the strategic referral partnerships, my clients see very high conversion rates, and they're really reliable and consistent influx of leads. As I said, we also optimize your marketing strategy. We select just key few channels that will reach your ideal clients without overwhelming you. We create simple content calendar for your online presence. And depending on the strategy we pick, sometimes it's just to build your personal brand or the brand of your business, expertise, and so on. Sometimes it's to also attract potential clients and leads. It all depends who you serve and what's the best route for you to help clients. But in today's day and age, you do need online presence no matter how, where your key clients are coming from, because they will check you up one way or another, right? Making sure your Google profile is strong and really so your presence online, whether it's through your website, through your Google profile or social media or any other way, tells the story of a brand, is consistent, gives your potential ideal client the same experience. And no matter how they find you and how they interact with you, they're getting the same message. They're getting closer and closer to saying yes to you. And then finally, in this pillar, we build your sales process, right? From people finding you and inquiring to work with you to a signed contract. We set up your systems, your booking system, pre-qualification. Part of that process is very important. So you're only talking to serious and budget-appropriate clients. We design your sales discovery process, whether it's one call or whether it's multiple touch points, all depends on the industry. But we really do that so you can uncover your client's situation, their pain points, their vision. So when you create a proposal, when you send a quote, or when you summarize what they need and make an offer, majority of your potential clients say yes. And of course, I do teach my clients how to handle objections and how to address those common, like, I need to think about it, or I have a partner or somebody else I need to talk about, or I'm not sure, or we'll get back to you later. Because a lot of sales do happen with the follow-ups after the objections have been addressed. So we're not leaving any stone unturned. And then pillar 3, it's all about systems and scale structure, because here we're building your operational foundations that allows you to scale revenue without working more hours. If you just grow your leads and you bring in more clients without building systems and scale structure, all you're going to do is overwhelm yourself, end up working more than you're working right now. And then you start questioning, was that even worth it? Was the growth worth it? Because now I'm burned out. I'm missing out on other parts of my life. And my philosophy is that we did not start our businesses to be slave to them. We started our businesses as entrepreneurs to make a difference, make an impact, but also enjoy life that we have. And you cannot have this if your business is not set up this way. So how do we do it? We want to make sure that you have financial clarity, right? That you understand your finances. I talk sometimes to 7-figure business owners who don't understand their finances. They don't look at them until the tax time. And then they're surprised how much revenue they generated. They don't understand why they need to pay so many taxes, or that they can pay themselves and all those things. I will help you, if needed, find the proper bookkeeper. I will teach you how to understand your financial statements, how to have cash flow, and so on. As a CEO of your business, one of the things you do need is some basic financial acumen. And we do that because that's where the scaling starts. We analyze your expenses, we calculate sort of your break-even point, determine exactly how much revenue you need per month to pay yourself consistently, to cover your expenses, to pay your team once you have one, and all those things. So you will know those numbers. And I promise you, it's not as complicated as it might sound. And as a CEO of your business, you have to know those basics. Next is time management. When you build a system that scales, you also need to systemize your schedule and how you operate day to day and weekly basis, right? Redesign your ideal work structure if you don't have one. If you do, we just optimize it and make sure you're making the best use out of the time you want to spend in your business. And then finally, we focus on your team building, depending on, again, where you are, whether you have a team or you don't. We create your hiring roadmap, right? When to hire, who to hire, whether to use contractors or employees, what roles to prioritize, how to help you develop clear job descriptions, design the recruiting process so you can really attract your best employees, people who will stay with you, who will love what your company is all about, who will fit your culture, right? We will build the training and onboarding systems for those employees. We'll build processes so then they can follow and your clients can get excellent experience no matter who is supporting them in their journey with you. We also help you establish team's communication rhythm, right? As your business grows and scales, the communication will become paramount. When you're alone, you have everything in your head, and that's fine because you're just communicating with yourself and your client. Even when you have a team or one or two, and let's say you hired your best friends or people who already know you, then a lot of communication can happen in a nonverbal way, in a way where you understand each other or finish each other's sentences. But as your business grows and you start hiring people who haven't known you before and so on, having clear communication system and paths are paramount because from my experience, most of business challenges, especially on the client side, happen because of poor or lack of proper communication. So we want to avoid that. Now, if you're a brand new leader who've never led or managed people or hired people, will also have to work through some mindset blocks that you might have. We will make sure that your new team members can deliver high quality work without you micromanaging them. We will help you. I will help you let go of the perfectionism and ability to trust your team members. Sometimes it's hard when you think, oh my God, I built this business. It's my baby. Now I have to hand it over to somebody else. That's not true. And I teach my clients how to go over it. And maybe in the upcoming podcast episode, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So here is the overview of 3 pillars. And as you can see, there's multiple aspects of each pillars because those aspects is what every business needs in order to scale. There's no one magic solution that will solve all your problems. And sometimes the business owners are misled because they think, oh my God, if I just focus, let's say, on leads and I bring in the leads, then all my problems will be solved. My business will grow and I will be able to scale. But if you just focus on the leads and you don't know how to close them or how to optimize your sales so you make the most out of them, and then you're not ready to deliver to those leads, then you might actually, a lot of that effort will go wasted and you're not going to scale and grow the way you wanted because you haven't prepared other aspects of your business. So I do believe in a holistic approach and looking at majority of the aspects of your business and moving them forward and growing them together in a sequence that makes sense, but not neglecting critical keys, because critical parts of it, because you just went with believing that there's one magical solution, this one magical strategy that will scale your business and kind of take care of all the challenges and all the things that come up when your business starts getting more and more clients and generating more and more revenue. Okay, so going back to pillar number 1, the profitable position framework, and really starts with you becoming a true CEO of your business and thinking of yourself as the CEO of your business, responsible for short-term and long-term success of your business, not just a service provider or freelancer worker in your business. So that's what I want to focus on in the second part of this podcast, to culturally fit and give you some inspiration and motivation. So if I ask you a question, do you consider yourself a leader? What would be your honest answer? And it's okay if you think, I never thought of myself this way, right? I just thought of myself as a business owner or as a just service provider. It's okay. I get that a lot when I talk to entrepreneurs. Many of them don't think of themselves as leaders. So I want to challenge you and to start thinking of yourself as the leader, as this entrepreneur CEO of your business. Because I truly believe we're all leaders. The first person and the first thing foremost we lead, or should lead at least, is our life and ourselves. And what I mean by leading is intentionally having clarity of what type of life we want to create, who do we want to be, and making decisions that lead to that, rather than letting our life happen to us, letting circumstances influence us in ways that we don't truly want, and just focus on avoiding what we don't want rather than getting clear on what we want and creating it. So that's first. Now, what is an entrepreneurial CEO mindset? There is many aspects to that, but I will just talk about main 5. Number 1 is you are the owner of the business, right? You are the leader of the business, not just a worker. And what owner means, meaning you should take ownership for success of the business, short-term and long-term. There should be no victimhood or blaming circumstances or others for the fact that maybe your business is not growing the way it is, regardless whether there are some circumstances that are affecting your business. If you don't focus on what you can control, you will be helpless, right? Your business will be at the mercy of those circumstances and not led by you. There is also being an owner is being responsible for your current customers, short-term and long-term, and your future customers. Sometimes when business owners are telling Maggie, I hate sales and marketing, I'm not good at that, I wish somebody else did it, I always tell them, you signed up for the business, for owning a business. The moment you decided to own a business, you also signed up to getting really good in marketing and sales. That does not mean you'll never get help with it, but in the beginning, you have to hone those skills because they will ensure long-term success. They will ensure that no matter what happens, no matter the economy, if you are really good in those 2 skills, your business will always survive and thrive regardless of what happens, right? You are also responsible for your clients when you take them on, for their experience when starting with you, when you're delivering services, and then afterwards. Even if you might not be the one delivering the service, as a leaders, we are ultimately responsible. So that leads me to the second part. What we want is you want to focus on value creation. Value is what your clients, what the market is paying you for, not the amount of hours you work, right? What value means is you solving problems for your ideal clients, and therefore understanding what their problems are, really deeply knowing your clients, and also you solving problem for yourself. Because if your business, let's say, is not optimized and it's you are not productive, your employees are not productive, then the cost of doing business with you will be high. And if you pass that cost, that inefficiency to your clients in their pricing, then that's not really valuable for them. So creating value is solving problems for your clients, but also solving your own problems, tied business, right? Another way to create value is, of course, helping your clients achieve the goals, because our clients want to get rid of their problems in order to achieve the goals, to achieve the vision that you want. So both are connected. If you listen to your client, if you never lose touch to them, if you understand the market you're in, the industry you're in, and then that takes the CEO, not a worker or service provider, inside their business. The third important part is understanding that challenges are normal and there are opportunities for you to get better and learn. No matter what challenge you're going through in your business, it's not final, and you can gain gold mine, millions of dollars worth of lessons if you only take time to learn. If you have a discipline to review what's going on in your business on a regular basis and learn from the challenges and get better from them, that's what makes you stronger. That's what builds resilience in your business and in you as the CEO. The fourth outlook that as a CEO you should have is being open to change and innovation, being open to learning, overall being open-minded. Nobody knows it all. We all have our blind spots. So understanding this and learning from different people, learning from your clients, learning from experts and partners that you should surround yourself with, because there's no business, no successful entrepreneur who's done it on themselves. And if they're making it sound like that, I'm sure that's not true. The most successful entrepreneurs had mentors and advisors and partners and really understood their clients. When you do that, you will see opportunities that will allow you to change and innovate. There are certain things that always stay the same, and there's things like technology that just the speed of change has really grown exponentially lately, right? So when you understand what's going on, you also gain courage to try new things, and not in a bad way when you're reacting and impulse trying things, but when you're strategically validating certain ideas, doing experiments before scaling them up. Another thing to that is that gathering data needs to also come with your intuition. It's something you build over time by understanding your market, understanding your business, understanding your clients. Sometimes if you don't combine data with intuition, you make decisions that are not informed as well as they could be. So too hasty decisions, or you paralyze yourself with the need for research and knowing 100%, and that prevents you from actually moving forward and creating progress. The last part that I wanted to talk about is that sustainable growth is your friend, meaning a growth that allows you to keep serving your clients at the highest level, a growth that doesn't burn you out, doesn't burn out your team, and doesn't hurt your current clients. And that requires taking calculated risk. That requires investment sometimes before you get the return, right? It's like spending money to make money. It's not about recklessly spending money or investing or reckless decision, but it's about balancing the risks, understanding which ones are more likely to happen and preparing for them and mitigating them, which ones are not likely to happen, and creating like a strategy to deal with them should they occur. As Steve Jobs once said, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful ones is pure perseverance. So when you think strategically, when you take calculated risk, when you understand the market and you're curious and open, and you take responsibility for your business, and you learn from challenges, you accept them in a way where you don't try to completely avoid them, they will happen, you create resilience, right? And when you have a strong mission and vision for your business and your why, you can also persevere through harder times. And I agree with Steve Jobs that 50% of your success is just in that resilience and perseverance. And it starts with you growing your own personal resilience, right? As Les Brown said, you don't get what you want, you get who you are, right? If you are unable to deal with ups and downs of entrepreneurship, the emotional roller coaster, or even not allowing the small stuff bug you and growing your emotional resilience and emotional capacity to handle many different things, it's going to be very hard to scale a business. So how do you cultivate or create resilience in yourself as a CEO? There is a couple of things that I'm just going to name because it would have to be like a 2-day workshop for me to go through everything. Those things are developing self-awareness. So really looking inwards and understanding your thinking patterns, how you make decisions, and pinpointing times when maybe the thinking that you have doesn't serve you, and have the ability to shift and reframe your perspective to one that serves you. That also requires certain open-mindedness and allowing other people to pinpoint things that you're not seeing, right? That's why coaching is so powerful. That's why having mentors is so powerful. And people who are not your friends and family, because your friends and family are not there to pinpoint things that maybe you're not doing well, or maybe you're not thinking about in a way that you should, or in a different way, because they love you, they want to protect you, they want to protect you from pain. Self-care, not in a negative way where it's not in a way where, oh, you have to go to, I don't know, spa every week and that's self-care. Self-care in a way where you maintain, when you take care of your mind, of your mental well-being and your physical health well-being, so that you can perform at the highest level. And self-care and mindset maintenance as a high-performing CEO. I help my clients to do it. And if you look at it, most successful people, they really take care of themselves well because they understand that they're their business's biggest asset, right? In the beginning. And ultimately, it's the decisions you make that lead to actions, your actions or your team actions that then lead to results. And in order to make the best decisions, you have to operate at your best as a human. It's very critical, and it's part of being a good, great CEO of your business. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about in this episode. Tune in for the next couple of weeks when I will explore more some aspects of Pillar 2 and Pillar 3 of the T.O.P CEO framework, all for you to help you pinpoint where maybe you need more focus and help in 2026 in order to take your business to the next level. And if you're ready to get help and coach with me, I offer complimentary consultations, and you can book one by going through my website, to which I'll put a link in the show notes. Have a fantastic week. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at maggie@stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.